What are the reasons to publish new core rules books under 1D&D? Since 1D&D was announced last July, much was written and said about the changes it might bring to the game and what people like and dislike about the initiative. But I haven't seen much discussion about this one fundamental question. Why the release of new core rules? I'll try to answer that, considering what might be the marketing strategy behind its release. I worked for many years as a strategy consultant for corporations. One of the things that we would do in this job is called competitors' perceived strategy. Most of the times, the business strategy of a given firm is kept as a well-guarded secret. So, what we would do was examine the company's actions and try to reverse engineer what their business strategy was. If we were to have a look at the roster of published D&D books, what could we say about its perceived strategy? First of all, what are the best-selling D&D books? Could it be that new releases would be products similar to those bestsellers? Would that be true? We can use the total number of product reviews in Amazon as a proxy to product sales. I would expect that the higher the volume of evaluations, the higher the sales volume. And whatever sells more is a good indication of what the D&D fan base likes the most and is most inclined to buy. Considering that, the best-selling product line are precisely core rules books. If we score them as 100, we can see the relative ranking of other product lines. Rules expansion books only sell 30% of core rules books do, followed by starter sets with 20%, campaign settings with 12%, and adventures with 9%. And yet, there are only 3 core rules books and 19 adventures. Why wouldn't D&D publish more of its bestsellers, and why so many publications of its least-selling product lines? I think that actually explains one of the main reasons for the 1D&D new core rules books. After all, they sell much more than all other books. I can imagine the amount of pressure that Hasbro executives probably put on the D&D studio for new core rules books. There's a good reason to resist the siren's alluring song, though. D&D 3e was doing just fine when Wizards decided to launch 4e, a critical and commercial disaster and a major step back for the company. It seems to have been a well-learned lesson in the most painful body part of a corporation, its pockets. The D&D studio not only bravely resisted the pressure and temptation of releasing a new edition for 10 long years, but also found a way to settle on a win-win for the company and D&D fans, announcing they're getting rid of the concept of new editions, recognizing and stabilizing 5e rules as their gold standard, compromising on evolving on those rules, and keeping other publications backwards compatible. From what I've seen from 1D&D so far, I find it very promising. Rules that are simpler, more flexible, more balanced, and more focused on role-playing. Even better, no more pushing the reset button, and thanks the gods for that. 1D&D seems to be a compromise between the corporation's desires of a new release of core rules books, its best-selling product line, and the fan base appraisal of 5th edition books and expectation of keeping up the current edition releases valid for play as long as possible. And considering that our beloved game is also a business, I'll take it. It's pretty much the best compromise we could get, in my humble opinion.